What are we doing? We are doing the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. If you guys have any questions about... Hey, I have to update my Wikipedia link. For some reason, I posted it to 57, but it should be number 59, so I'll fix that too. Yeah, I just copied everything of 57, including the stream title. So once this VOD will be online later today, it will also read out the title of 57 because I made a mistake. Apparently, copy-pasting stuff is incredibly difficult once you're 37. False start as a 37-year-old man, guys, but hey. Alright, PsiOniC is ready. I am ready. Chess is ready. Indy is ready. Let's do it. Second best of 5 of the night. I actually think this is going to be a very cool one. Not necessarily red and blue, but please not blue and teal. You guys can do any bright versus dark color. That's fine. I don't care much about the colors. We're not going to be too nitpicky. It's a fun event here. We want players to have a good time. But I'm not going to do blue against teal. That's pushing it a little. Oh man, Indy spectates these. That's so sick. Yeah, I'm the one who's doing the observing for us, Grant. Hello, Granty boy, by the way. But Indy loves covering this. I mean, this is a really fun event, I think. Every single Friday, people have some games to look forward to. We've done this for 59 weeks, and then we did a bonus edition as well. So basically 60 Fridays of Basilisk putting up a bunch of prize money for players to compete for. And Indy just loves casting these games in Polish. He just does it for his own stream, for the Polish community. And he has a good time with it. He's here almost every week. Sometimes he's got something else, but I would say that he's here almost every single week.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of a French Protoss player who's been around since the dawn of day. And he's the one who actually reached out to me. He said, "Hey, Roddy, that BBB thing, how do I play?" I said, "You tell me that you want to play, and you can play, mate." First time ever that we get to see him. He's good. He used to be very good. Then he was a bit inactive. Now he's back. He's been playing a decent amount. Loves them Blink Stalkers. And he's a fun guy to watch. It's PsiOniC. Hailing from France. And in the top left side, we're looking at the main base of the second ever Austrian player to participate in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. His big bro, Hate Me, has played maybe 3 or 4 times. And this is the first time ever that we welcome this amigo to Friday Night Video Gaming. PsiStorm Gaming, so I didn't know. Chess. I did not know that he was a part of PsiStorm Gaming. I don't know if he's part of like the community team or the streaming team, or if there's a chance we'll see him in the Pro League. And with Pro League I mean WTL, but yeah, Chess is good, PsiOniC is good. This is an incredibly tough one for me to call. I really think this is about as close to a 50-50 as anything you could imagine. Also, 2 guys that we don't get to see a whole lot of. I don't think that you guys necessarily have strong feelings about it, but I do think it's going to be very good. KJ says neither did I, but either way, let's go Chess. He's a very cool guy, KJ. He's just a really good player who's been stopping by my stream a whole bunch over the last few years, and he's always nice, he's always appreciative. I feel like he's just a passionate Starcraft fan who's just also damn good at the game. Like, if you're close to 6,000 MMR in Europe, you're obviously a bit of an animal. And he's going to open things up with a 3-Rex, as PsiOniC is maybe opening things up with a 3-Gate. I think I really like that for Terran, but you do need to get a bunker. If you don't get a bunker, then it can obviously get awkward. And it can suddenly be really good for the Protoss. And so far, there is no bunker. And we did scout a tiny bit, but we did not scout through the side blocker. You need a bunker here, my friend. If you do not get a bunker sometime soon, you are in trouble. 3 Marines are going to try to get on top of the Adept. The 3 Marine against the Adept is an okay-ish fight. You can still build a bunker right now. And if you do it right now, it's really not that bad. He's not going to do it. Man, a couple of Stalkers can absolutely ruin his day here. And it will be a few Stalkers. What you can do is obviously defend on top of this ramp, and that makes it a little bit harder as a Protoss to really get the free damage going, the kiting going. That extra Marine that just came from here is a scout, by the way, for PsiOniC. I think PsiOniC at this point knows this is at the bare minimum 2-Rex triple CC, or it's just a good old-fashioned 3-Rex. Stalkers, once they get on the high ground though, have so much kiting potential. He's actually going for more Adepts. I think that's a mistake, guys. I actually think that's a very big mistake by PsiOniC. Because Adepts don't kite in the same way as Stalkers do. And yes, 4 Adepts one-shot a Marine, one-shot an Adept. But if you can get a couple of Stalkers out, I feel like it would go a whole lot better. I mean, this is still going pretty good, and now the Stalker is going to show up as well. Our man from Austria is off to a rough start here on his debut. Meanwhile, PsiOniC finds best case scenario. These kind of builds are so iffy, they're so hit or miss. Okay. Now it works out brilliantly. Maybe he's done some studying, right? Maybe he took a look at the stream of Chess, because Chess does stream his games. It's chess_SC2. Maybe he picked up on the fact that our Austrian Terran does very often go for greedy builds and does not get a quick bunker. A 9-worker deficit in a 5-minute game. That is Aoi. Does not have to be a zoom slush, as the Germans would say, but that is kind of Aoi. Blink halfway done. Chess maybe can use a stim soon, and he can actually push these units away. Once a probe, another 3 Adepts are gonna get in. 3 Adepts is enough to one-shot SCVs. They will one-shot SCVs. The Stalkers are gonna do their thing again in the natural. The Marines are just gonna stim forward. Stalkers don't have blink yet, so at least this fight goes excellent for Chess. Oh, that actually turned into a victory towards the very end of it. The Marines go very, very, very deep. And they will find that proxy gate, and they are going to get picked off by them extra units that got warped in. So it looked like a little victory for the Marines at first, because getting 4 Stalkers is pretty serious, but... now Stim is going to finish up in the near future. Stalkers cannot quite blink away yet, so another Stalker will fall, but... You still have those... This Adept is important, by the way, because the Shade can give high ground vision. Ah, and he doesn't kill the Adept! So now PsiOniC could maybe Shade or just walk up. He's got blink. And now we get a bunker. 4 minutes too late. I'm afraid that it's just game over. Stalkers will reign supreme here. Blink is online. During all of this, PsiOniC casually going up to 3 bases, but yeah, he does need to be a little bit careful. A lot of his Stalkers are low on HP, but the Marauders will run out of steam. There is no tank that's coming out anytime soon that's going to help Chess. There are no medevacs to heal up these bio units. These are the most frustrating kind of losses if you play Terran. You open up with a bunker and your entire life is mega different. I know I sound like a broken record, guys, but that's really what these kind of games come down to. With a bunker we celebrate, with no bunker we cry. There's no other way to put it. Hello, Dave. Congrats, by the way, Magnet, on the W. How did you, how did Game 4 and Game 5 go, mate? Give me a quick summary. What did I miss? Spill those beans. Good evening, my amigo. Thank you for stopping by. A 22-worker lead for the French Protoss, who loves his gateway units, by the way. If Adol Scott was still playing Starcraft 2 in the year 2024, he would play like PsiOniC. Game 4 he went React to Cyclone at the Proxy Reaper, and I went 2-base Blink. Wow, that sounds epic. That sounds epic. Game 5 Proxy Marauder Boy Boy, he didn't expand. What a legend. You actually played kind of well against me, Magnus. Now, I did have a misclick or two, and I didn't really want to all-in you, because I feel like that would be sad. I gotta say, you had some moves. For a pool 3 player, I actually think that was a really good performance. If you keep playing like this, I think it's pool 2 in the near future, mate. I can see pool 2 on the horizon for you. And perhaps one day, you can even join the big boys in pool 1. Chess is still battling, a couple of gateway units at a time. Does finally have a medevac out, but he's been bleeding out SCVs non-stop. It's been an omega frustrating game for him, one where he's lost over 30 SCVs. And he's going to be forced to tap out now that the Warp Prism has shown up as well. GG gets gold. PsiOniC takes the 1-0 lead. Says, thank you, mate. Now, there is a good chance that when I asked, or when PsiOniC asked me to play in the BBB, I said, alright, I've got a game for you. PsiOniC, I was like, you can play against Psystorm Gaming's Chess, or I just said Chess, whatever. And he said, I don't know who that is, but sure, sounds awesome. So I gave him the link. I was like, he's an Austrian Terran, he's actually pretty good. I was like, if you want to see a couple of his games, here you go. So I gave him the stream link. And I did tell Chess that I gave PsiOniC his stream link. That's obviously not a secret, right? Because everybody streams in public. You want viewers. So yeah, I have the feeling that maybe PsiOniC picked up on a habit of Chess where he goes for certain openings and he doesn't get a bunker. Or it's just that he wants to set the tone for the rest of the series and says, you are not going to be greedy against me. And I am willing to be very aggressive. What's with your eye? You okay, mate? Yes, mate, I'm okay. There's nothing with my eye. My eyes are fine. Even though I did just cast a couple of games of Magnath. That does things to a man. But the eyes are still fine. Good evening, Anna. I appreciate all the hockey facts on Discord. I'm excited to follow the NHL and NBA playoffs. At this point, we are very deep into the playoffs, or at least we're getting pretty deep. And it's difficult for me to stay up till like 3, 4 a.m. and actually watch these games. But I do find it fun to see the results and see what franchises and which cities are celebrating and advancing. Look at that, Ian Blue. You're getting grouped into the same category as me, mate. You're part of the old man group. Go Canucks. I've always said that I like Boston. I don't have a specific reason to like Boston. I just kind of... I like the black and yellow. And I think Boston is a very cool city. Because I kind of feel that Boston is the RotterdaM of the United States. When it comes to the attitude, it being a port city and... Yeah, so I like the Bruins, but... I think it's very cool that the Rangers are doing so well. A long time ago, I dated an American lady, and she was a big fan of the New York Rangers. So because of that, I followed them a little bit too for a while. You thought they are green? They are green in the NBA, mate, but I was talking about the Bruins, obviously. I think the Celtics are doing great too. I mean, Boston is just flying, eh? Anyway, round 2. Second bout of the night. $80 for the winner, 20 buckies for the loser.
Round 2. Fight!
You need Basilisk to sponsor you in Magic the Gathering. But we are dabbling in Magic the Gathering, so join the Basilisk Discord. If you guys do !Basilisk Discord, you can join. And every now and then, you might see an opening, mate. To get something going in Magic, who knows? Top right side of El Sione. We are looking at the main base of the French Protoss, PsiOniC. Taking the 1-0 lead. Over this man who's struggling a little bit with the interface, that's why we have to rehost as well. There is a bug where sometimes if you host custom games, players get a different interface, like the console at the bottom. I'm personally not bothered by it, but some pro gamers really are, and I get it. Chess was a bit bothered by it, but not too much that he's willing to go for the second rehost, so he says whatever. Down 0-1. Let's get a bunker this time, if we get proxied. This is Sidestorm Gaming's Chess. The Cavs smoked them last night. The Cavaliers beat the Celtics. I didn't know that. That seems like a big surprise, no? Because I thought that the Celtics are at this point the overwhelming favorites to win it all. And did that happen in Boston? Did the Cavaliers win in Boston? We're going Wolves, baby. Honestly, the Wolves being up 2-0 over Denver, I did see that. Maybe they are the ones to look out for. Ooh, will this probe make it? I think it will make it. Nice recall by PsiOniC. They suck at home for some reason. Alright. Keep an eye on it. It's cool that the city that we are going to soon for the ESL Masters. And I did want to talk to you guys about it, but I think I'll talk more about it the closer we get to the event. Is that I feel that this is going to be the most awesome and hyped DreamHack event we've had in an incredibly long time. Because the entire top 3 will get seeded into the Esports World Cup, which is literally the biggest StarCraft event we've ever had. So players like Rogue, and I almost wish that Parting was playing, and I don't think Parting is playing any StarCraft at the moment, but a while ago Parting was really freaking good again. You'd kind of think that if Parting would have just practiced and he would have gone all out, like there is a chance, right, that he goes top 3 in Dallas. And he would have still qualified for the Esports World Cup. So I'm freaking hyped for Dallas. Somebody is lagging. Who's lagging? Uh-oh. PsiOniC. Sacre bleu. French internet. Ay, ay, ay. We're getting unlucky today. I mean, the other lag spikes were before we truly started the event, but we can obviously resume this game from replay, but this is a very annoying moment for somebody to drop out. This is obviously what can happen with online competition. Some nights everything is a smooth sailing from the very beginning till the very end. Some nights there are a couple. Oh, we're back.
Game paused.
Let's go. Thank you, Manabu. That actually means a lot to me. It's very sweet. What's the prize pool again? For the Esports World Cup, a grand total is $1 million. For Dallas, I think first place is like 15k, second place maybe 9, and then it's 6. So there's a lot of money on the line for Dallas too. But what's even bigger about Dallas is that the top 3 get seeded into the Esports World Cup. So some of you love Rogue. Some of you think even Rogue is the GOAT. I expect Rogue to go to Dallas. He's playing non-stop. Why not, right? I don't know what is top 4? I thought it was top 3. You sure about top 4? Okay, then it's top 4. That's even better. TLDR. A lot of reason to go. And I'm a tiny bit sad that it seems that our boy Parting is not going to try. I would have loved to see Parting try. Rogue has been looking good. I mean, making top 4, top 3, whatever at Dallas is incredibly difficult. Yeah. Would you guys comfortably bet against a man like Rogue? By the way, how did this, where did the SCV go through? Oh, over here. Okay. Feels, oh, wait, what? So an SCV, what happened? So you mine out the mineral patch, the SCV can go through, but Hellions cannot? I mean, you still have a pretty quick medevac. It's one of those workers only path. I think it's kind of okay. It takes like 2 or 3 extra seconds. Don't think it really would have made much of a difference. PsiOniC had a good read on this. He kind of knows what's up. And he's got picture perfect defense so far. Would have been better for Chess to send the Hellions into the natural. Yeah, obviously he cannot know that. It's easy for us to say that. He's now going to go for the fake out. PsiOniC. We'll see that medevac show up soon. Here come the Hellions. Hellions going to go for it. Hey, that could still be minus 10 probes. There's... not if you lose 2 Hellions. Okay, he's going actually for multiple different Hellions. One of the Hellions is 1 probe hit away from dying. And maybe that probe should have just attacked it. It's only 4 for now. That's not bad. I kind of wish that he would have either stuck around here or you just YOLO it here. Oh, but he turns around. The Hellion sleeping on the job. He goes for the wrong Hellion. 8 probes already and 3 Hellions still alive. PsiOniC not really too worried about defending by the looks of it. He says, F it. 4-gate War Prism for the win. Oh, Stalkers are going to get the medevac in the end though. That's big. That is very, very big for PsiOniC. Chess, I think we need a bunker in the main as well, mate. How many bunkers are we working with? 1 bunker on the low ground. I mean, 2 tanks is nice. But I kind of would like maybe a little bunker in the main too. Goes for that SCV, that's kind of cute, but bunker will still get finished up. Nice Sim City here as Chess wipes in a few extra Stalkers. Here comes the Stalker. He can go for the tech lab. Maybe it would have been better for Chess to get Stim on the left tech lab and combat shield that's slightly less important on the right. He's gonna blink for, oh my god, he's gonna blink for it. A forward blink on top of 2 tanks, and he actually gets both of them rather quickly. So now it's all of a sudden going to be a little bit annoying to deal with this. It felt like he was ready. This bunker is exposed. Stalkers could go for the tank or the bunker. They go for the tank again. SCVs were already pulled. Gets the tank kill. It's not for free, but he gets the tank, he gets the bunker, and 9 blink Stalkers remain. Our boy from Austria is in a tiny bit of trouble, and don't forget that Stim got cancelled, so that's not going to finish up anytime soon. PsiOniC is deadly. He's aggressive, and he's damn good with the blinky boys. Nice scan there by Chess. He's going to try to get another bunker up. Can't quite justify that forward blink. I think Hero is going to go for it, Dallas. Yeah. I think Hero is safely to say one of the favorites. But don't forget that there is a very good chance that the great Jonas Sutala is going to be in Dallas as well. And I would never bet against Jonah. And we're going to see an incredibly fired up Raynor. And I actually think Raynor is damn good too. Even if the GSL didn't work out. Sucks, it hurts, it's disappointing. That doesn't take away from the fact that Raynor is still incredibly good. And I think you guys will see some of that in Dallas. It's going to be awesome. I'm actually mega hyped for it. Like, I always look forward to offline events. Just seeing everybody, seeing the players, casting some video games. It's never a bad time. That Claymore kid is not bad. I believe that he kind of has some skills to pay the bills too. This one, when it comes to the level of competition that we are going to see and what's on the line, Dallas is going to be sick. It's starting off at the end of May. I never know if it's the 31st or the 30th, but obviously it always starts on a Friday. It is Friday the 31st. So the tournament starts on the 31st of May, and then the 1st of June and the 2nd of June. And then on the 3rd of June, we can all go home. And we'll pretty much know all the players that go to the Esports World Cup. Might still be mega close between a couple of them, and some final EPT points on the line could make the difference. And then I think there are still some regional qualifiers, but it's honestly pretty hard to figure it all out. I think Oliveira is an outsider to do well in Dallas, but not a whole lot more than that. Like, maybe like top 12-ish. I can see a top 12. Stim is done, by the way, at this point, and we also have +1, but we can't lose these medevacs, that's for sure. I think we'll see a very strong Raynor in Dallas. And I know that some of you guys probably think like, yeah, Roddy, we get it, shut up, you like Raynor. Yes, it's true, I like Raynor. But I also think Raynor has shown many times in the past that he is not just a good Starcraft 2 player, but that he's extraordinary. We saw that in the online Katowice, we've seen that at WCS events in the past that he won, we've seen it at Home Story Cups, and not to forget about Gamers 8 last summer in the desert. Unfortunately, the GSL did not work out. PsiOniC should probably not attack into this, by the way, guys. That's a lot of bio, and that's a lot of tanks. There are 5 tanks. It's pretty YOLO to think that that is something you should attack into. Do you think Raynor will ever ascend to several levels? As we get a nice double drop, by the way, here by Chess in his own base. Sounds silly, but he snipes the Prism. I think if Raynor brings his A++ game, I think Raynor is Serral level. But it is incredibly difficult to bring that Serral consistency. That is, I mean, Serral 2018 is something we're never going to see before. It's something I have never seen in my entire history in RTS. And not even Serral is going to do that again. Raynor is if he's on point, he's truly on point. And there is a reason why every time we interview Serral, if you guys ever ask him who he's worried about, he often says Raynor. And that's not because they're friends, that's not because they're teammates. That's because Serral knows what it feels like to play against a Raynor that's on point. And a Raynor that brings his A+ game is scary for everyone, even for Serral. All the tanks are on siege, and PsiOniC feels that this is the moment to still go for it. It's a really strange fight between these two. The tank target fire is going to be important here. He's mostly going for that Colossus. Perhaps we should have been splashing over those Stalkers, because in the end, great micro by PsiOniC doesn't actually lose his Colossus. It's quite something. Now Chess is going to go ahead and try to attack the 4th base of PsiOniC. A recall is not available as it was used at the 3rd base. A couple of High Templars coming in. These High Templars don't have Storm yet, but they can feedback. That actually makes counterattacks a little bit less scary. What a bizarre fight, eh? Maybe he shouldn't have unsieged all the tanks when he did. And I like target firing a Colossus, but this was a better moment to just go for a couple of the Stalkers. Like 1 tank on the top left Stalker, 1 tank at the bottom, and then 2 in the center. I think you blow up that entire Stalker army in no time. And then the Colossus is not that scary anymore by itself. This is the tennis player Chess. Yes, he loves tennis. He's a big Nick fan. Nick Kyrgios. I'm gonna play padel with him one day. I have a story for you guys tonight. Before the grand finals, or the main event of the Big Brain Bouts, I will tell you guys about Smurfgate. Roddy and Smurfing. I know. I set high standards for myself. I tried to set the right example for the community. Smurfing is a hot topic, and I'm guilty, guys. Before the grand finals tonight, we'll get to the bottom of Roddy being a dirty smurfer. But not yet. Soon, TM. Stay tuned. I'm disappointed in myself too. It's worse than that. Smurfgate is real. It is not related to Starcraft, by the way. But I am a smurfer. These two armies have just passed each other, maybe on purpose, maybe by accident. They say never ever ever base raid a Terran. Chess has a lot of firepower here, guys. It's been a pretty crazy game between these two. Only 13 minutes. Rico is on cooldown. Now, base raiding a Protoss with Storm is a bit scary. Seems that Zealots have already taken out this base. This is wild, man. Liberators in the main. Justice. Who's gonna get the best of who here? Is there a world where Chess can keep his main safe? Probably not, right? It's a little bit painful here for PsiOniC. Ooh, he actually blinks back. So many bases, but... I mean, Chess is on top of most of those bases. Sniping the Forge with +3 is awesome. Protoss has +2. Maybe Armor will finish up, but I don't know about that. He might not actually go for the main. If he doesn't go for the main, I'm starting to like this a little bit, guys, for the Austrian tennis player, Chess. As he is going to be able to do so. Oh my god. Oh, this is so risky. If he finds this, guys, like one Marauder and 3 Marines could have pretty much killed all of these High Templars. That would have been insane. 6 High Templars by themselves. Chess is a Stormo. Oh my god, who's fighting who? Who's engaging who? Protoss is back. Liberator's gonna siege up. There is so much Storm, but the tanks are very well protected. The Liberators are pretty well protected. There's a crazy amount of Storm there, but there is so much bio. Zealous, Harkon, Stalker coming in from the left. What a crazy final fight between these two, and who is gonna get on top? I am starting to believe that it's not that bad for Chess. He will get cleaned up here, but don't forget that he left a lot of units at home. Does he have enough left over to now do something about these bases and whatnot? All the High Templars are gone. It's only 1 tank, 1 lib though. He's about to get his hands on 2-2. 36 army supply against 46, but the 1 medevac that's carrying some cargo does get picked off. It may have actually just barely been good enough for PsiOniC. The French Protoss. Liberator and tank need to siege up right here, right now. And they will. 20 army supply deficit. That's so difficult, and Chess knows that it's just a little too difficult. GG gets called. After a 15-minute game, it is the French Protoss, PsiOniC, who takes the 2-0 lead. Maybe, I mean, the Rico was sick, and obviously he's coming in from every single angle. Since Chess still had so many units at home that were keeping his main base safe, like, you have to find a way to kind of get those units to participate in the game-deciding fight as well. But it wasn't easy because it was a big map, and he was on the back foot for most of it. He was close to dying twice, first against the Stalkers, later on against Stalkers, Colossus, Zealot. So kudos to Chess for still turning it into something. Unfortunately, he's now down 0-2. But fun games though. Actually fun games. Let's hope that our Austrian can get a point or 2 on the board. This series does not deserve to be a 3-0, and it shouldn't be a 3-0. Take a look at PsiOnic's profile, by the way, for you guys. Random 5-4. Protoss. That's fake news, by the way. That seems like Smurfgate. I guess he's just not playing on this account. PsiOniC is proper good. He's not 5-1. I think last time I played him on the ladder, he was like 5-7. I don't know how high or how much he has fallen, but... Alright. PsiOniC says that he's ready, and Chess says that he needs a second before we can go ahead and hop into Game 3. Shout out to Sirius Froggy for gifting us up to the Prince of Egypt, Magnath. Can we get a predict? Then we had a prediction for the entire series. So that was before Game 1. We always do 10-minute predictions for the entire best of 5. Just today in the beginning was a bit different because we had a pre-show, and then the pre-show overlaps with the main show. So we had to do 2 different things to each other, but we always do series for the entire best of 5. Second series of the night, $80 for the winner, $20 for the loser. Prize money is brought to you by Basilisk. Wearing new sweatpants, and they're very nice, but the zippers at the bottom are kind of annoying. How closely matched are these boys? I think based on game 2, you can say very. I've played against both of them a lot. I think they're both good. Yeah, it's really hard. Like, I generally stand by what I said in the beginning of the series, that I think this is a mega close series to call. And I don't know who I would have gone for. At this point, I guess we go for the guy that's up 2-0. But it ain't over till it's over.
Round 3. Fight.
It's not bait at all. Come on, mate. In game 1, he's basically, that's a build order loss because he doesn't get the bunker. He's getting proxied and he doesn't have a bunker. And in game 2, he got a tiny bit unlucky and he still played one hell of a game and he was very close to winning a crazy base trade after 15 minutes. How can you guys say that it's not close? If this ain't close, there is no such thing as close. In the top left side of site Delta, up 2-0, making his debut in the Big Brain Bouts. It's PsiOniC. Ah. Vielen Dank, mein liebes Lambo. Ich hoffe, du hast einen schönes Abend mit Luft. Und ich habe Ihre Stream auch geguckt. Und sehr gerne gesehen. Danke, danke. Bottom right side of site at Delta. We are looking at the main base of our Austrian Terran. He's down 0-2, but I think he's been a bit unlucky so far. Can we turn things around and make this a proper series? This is Psystorm Gaming's chess. Don't mention anything? No, I wouldn't. I will banter people, but I learned my lesson a long time ago with Lex Veldhuis not to banter about semi-finals of Champions Leagues and painful defeats. Football fans like banter up to a certain point where the losses become too sensitive, too painful, and it cuts too deep that if you then banter them, it's no longer banter, you're just being rude. So. I mean, I can definitely make fun of Lethal and the performance of Aston Villa. All they had to do was beat a couple of greased farmers that were actually making doner kebabs at 3 p.m. and had to play Aston Villa at 9 p.m. and they still destroyed them. Unbelievable. A couple of these dudes were sitting there eating a gyros with extra garlic sauce and sambal, and they still destroyed Aston Villa. I mean, that's fascinating to me. Saying football fans take it too seriously? No, not too seriously. It's more just that certain losses really hurt. If you're like a die-hard fan, there are moments that only come by once every 5 years, once every 20 years. Like the Ajax semi-finals loss in the Champions League on the 8th of May, 5 years ago. That was a very painful one. And some of my Ajax friends did not take kind to my banter. I think if you're a Bayern Munich fan, you should be able to survive a loss because they're so good that they will probably win again. Once every couple of years, right? Bayern is always one of the top tier teams. Anyway, doesn't matter. TLDR, I will not tease Lambo. I'll definitely tease Lethal, but I will not tease Lambo. They were good. Olympiacos, mate. Yeah, they were very good, mate. Excellent, even. Unlucky for Chess, as he lost the Reaper rather quickly. He did get a probe. He almost got a second, but obviously at that point you just kind of wish you would have gotten a second. What did he just recall? What the hell? Guys, what did I just miss? What did he recall? I'm so confused. Was it stuck? Ah, I guess the adept was stuck, eh? Yeah, I think the adept just popped out on the wrong spot and it actually died. That's a very annoying start for PsiOniC now as he loses the probe. He's going to be forced to cancel the pylon, loses this adept, and I think this pylon obviously is going to get cancelled as well. Let's cancel it then. What? Alright, apparently we're battling adepts with a Hellion. He lets the pylon finish up. I like this start a lot for Chess, guys. Sure, his orbital is still floating. That's a little bit annoying. But you killed 3 adepts, 2 probes, a recall, a cancelled pylon, and a real pylon? You gotta love that, right? You reckon Olympiacos beat Final 2-0? You don't actually want to know what we would have done to Olympiacos, mate. It would not even be close. Just like Feyenoord against Aston Villa wouldn't be close. That's okay. There are levels to this game, Lethal, and not everybody has to participate in the Champions League. Some teams perform in the 3rd tier of European football, and there is nothing to be ashamed of that. Still international competition, mate. It's the thought that matters. It's kind of like your kids playing football on the Sunday morning, you know. It's just fun to see them run around, kick a ball. And that's what I think about Aston Villa. I'm just happy that those lads over in Birmingham too have a place to kick a ball. The drop in the main base doesn't really get a whole lot done, and the Hellions are going to get picked off as well, so I felt that Chess had a very promising opening. There wasn't really a whole lot he could have done here against a 2-base PsiOniC with a bunch of Stalkers, battery in the main, battery in the natural. It would have probably been better to just deny the 3rd base. And I think with some Hellions and 8 Marines in a medevac, you can do that. But, okay. And it's all good though. Don't do this, mate. Don't do this because you don't really know where the Stalkers are. Last game, Chess also lost one of his first medevacs very early. The one they were... Yeah, the supply block is not helping. But that medevac that was carrying the 3 Hellions that initially was used to harass, obviously that basically died for nothing. Oh, the tank is exposed. Stalkers will see it. Stalkers know about it. But the Raven also knows about the... Is he going to make that blink? Oh my god, he's so crazy. Oh my god, he's so crazy. Was it bait? Did we wait on purpose for that freaking long? I don't know if this was really worth it though in the end. I mean, that's a lot of dead Stalkers. He's going to battle this? 2 Marauders pop out as well. You cannot battle this, mate. That was kind of like who's setting up the trap, and I have the feeling that PsiOniC wanted that to happen, but I think that was a bit too much. Sure, he gets the tank, he gets the Raven, but he loses 6 freaking Stalkers. Thank you, Cabal, that's very sweet of you, mate. I'd love to go to Norway months. I've been, I had one of my first ever commentating gigs in Norway. In Hamar, the Viking ship. I was very sad. I went to that tournament and they offered me 400 euros to commentate the Warcraft 3 tournament. I was like, that sounds awesome. A PsiOniC blinks into the main base. Pick up the tank chest. Oh yes, what a hot pickup, baby. Finally, guys, it officially was a blink too far for PsiOniC. The first one was already a tiny bit questionable. The second one is just not going to go anywhere as you lose this 8 more Stalkers for... What was that? 1 tank? Couple of Marines. I mean, I think this game is over. Sure, PsiOniC has a 10 worker lead. Sure, PsiOniC is on 3 bases. Does he see this bunker, by the way? Look at this bunker rush, guys. The 7-minute, 35-second bunker rush. And he's so close to seeing it. Second bunker is going to come up as well. It's going to be so funny if you're PsiOniC. You see this army, you're like, what the fuck? Did I just get cannon rushed? Like a Warcraft 3 cannon rush? Did a hero show up and drop a couple cannons? How the hell is that bunker done? Nice battery overcharge, by the way. Excellent even. Don't think that should really save him. I want to say I think the Terran army is too good and too powerful here. But, you know, there is still a War Prism. It's only 4 gates at the moment. We're about to go up to 6 gates. Say the line, Liquid Clum. I can never press Liquid Clum if the Terran player is down 0-2, mate. The last time that Clem was down 0-2 was a cold winter night in the summer. In the season of 2019. Clem was feeling a little bit under the weather. He had fever all day. And that was the last time ever that Liquid Clum was down 0-2. First Colossus dies, couple of Zealots are trying to flank. But the Terran army is just a little bit too big, too powerful. PsiOniC has lost a few too many Stalkers. And don't forget about all those depths early on and whatnot. Yeah, it just adds up. Chess is fighting back, and he's showing us that this is a competitive series. So much for you guys saying, oh, it's not competitive between these two at all. It is. The games were close. Sometimes someone can take a 2-0 lead, but the games are close. And I think they have been close. PsiOniC is going to try one last time here with a Colossus, a couple Zealots, a couple Stalkers, but there really is no light at the end of this tunnel. We are dead. Chess is hunting down all the probes in the top right side, by the way, with just 3 guys with a gun. SEAL Team 6, baby. Jason, Hayes, and Ray. They're going for it. And look at them go. I forgot the names of the other guys in the show, but I do love that show. Excellent show. Liberators are here to make justice rain from above. I think both the libs die. This is some proper fighting spirit, guys. We had Ashbringer today. Show us great fighting spirit. Maybe he have to the Warp Prism, or he wanted to go for Warp Prism Micro, I don't know. What I do know is that he's Omega dead. Nathanius once upon a time spoke the wise words. He is so dead, he may as well be playing the game from his coffin. And I think that's the best way to put it. Yes, we have 2 Colossus. Yes, we have a Disruptor. But that's not gonna turn things around here. Same, Mart. It's such a good show. I'd never heard of it, and then I recently found it and I watched everything. The Colossus are Omega exposed, and it means that Chess can just stim forward, get on top of them, and get a W on the board for Austria. A W on the board for the Terrans. We've got a series on our hands, guys. Well done. I love it. Fighting Spirit or Copium. Very often I think it's a healthy combination of both. Mission accomplished, as Jason would say. I feel like there was something I wanted to answer, but I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, we were talking about me going to Norway, since somebody offered me a free meal in Norway. And that actually means a lot, guys. Because I do remember going to like Peppy or Pepper Pizza. I forgot what it was. That's not a... I'm not making that up. I'm not talking about the Frog. I believe that's actually a pizza chain in Norway. That's the most expensive pizza I've ever had in my life. It's just a normal place. I did take a large, to be fair. And I think it was close to 40 euros or something. And I was like, bro, how do people live in this country? And obviously, I know that the wages are a bit higher and stuff. But 40 euros for a pizza is pretty freaking mental. I was like, I can have 7 pizzas for this at home. At least back then. But yeah. TLDR is that I got invited to cast this Warcraft 3 tournament at a LAN. I forgot what the name was. Is it The Gathering in Norway? I feel like DreamHack was Sweden and then Norway had The Gathering. But I could be making this up. But I believe it's The Gathering in the Viking ship. I was like, oh, 400 buckies for 2 days? Yeah, little Ruddy was so excited. I was like, this sounds great. And I go there. And Targa was one of the players in the tournament. And then there was another human player, but I forgot his name. But I was actually by far and away the best Warcraft 3 player there. But I didn't know what they were playing for, right? And I got offered 400 bucks. So I show up there at this LAN. And I was like, what are you guys actually playing for? And then this guy's like, yeah, first place is $1,750. And I was young back then, and my eyes just went like, what? I look at the Red Eye. I'm like, Paul, is there a way that I can like play in this tournament? And Red Eye is like, well, we kind of brought you out here to cast. I was like, yeah, I know, but I'll win this probably with one hand. And they're giving away $1,750. And then Red Eye is like, well, if you can find me an English-speaking replacement for yourself, you can play. And I said, thank you, Paul. So I go around and I'm like, guys, you want to cast some Warcraft 3? But then nobody actually fit the criteria. So there was no replacement. And I just had to give commentary. And I was like, well, you know, that's fine. That's what I came here for anyway. But I was shocked. Because in my mind, you know, I was like, I mean, I was going to get a couple $100 buckies and that's it. And it was just going to be fun. I'd never won that much money in my life. And I was like, $1,750 bucks? I was like, I'd win this. Like 99% sure I'd win it. Imagine like Roddy in a tournament in my Starcraft 2 skill with a whole bunch of like low master players. That's basically what it was. I was like, let me play. Yeah. Ended up casting instead. And it's all good. Yeah, Roddy, what's your favorite place that you casted in America and Europe? If you mean venue-wise, I recently mentioned that I absolutely love the venue in Poland, the Warsaw one. That is one that I will always think back of. Actually, we had 2 amazing tournaments in Poland. You guys remember the Legacy of the Void trailer announcement where we had the final between Mana and Lilbao? I thought that was a 10 out of 10 venue. It was in a beer brewery near Krakow, I think. Beautiful, awesome, great atmosphere, like just freaking fantastic. And then also in 2011, we had the European Championships in Warsaw, next to the Central Station in the cinema. And that one was amazing too. So those 2 in Europe stand out for me. 2 times Poland. Poland's just awesome. Wrong scoreboard, by the way. Round 4, guys. Top left side of Goes the River. He's up 2-1. But he knows that he's going to have to work for it. Just making a couple of Blink Stalkers is not necessarily going to cut it. This is PsiOniC, the French Protoss. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of our Austrian Terran player, getting a point on the board. Can we send it to back-to-back game 5s? Wouldn't that be awesome? This is Storm Gaming's chess. Yeah. Venue and city that you may like. Cities in Europe. I mean, I can just think of like my favorite cities in general, right? I feel like I've casted almost everywhere. I always love Kiev. I think Kiev is amazing. I have very cool memories of Kiev. The people were always very nice to me. I think it's beautiful. Don't know about this Marauder opening, by the way. The venues that I casted in Ukraine, they were not too special. But the city itself, I think is freaking awesome. I loved Prague as well. I went for one Archon Showmatch. I went to Prague once. And I thought Prague was very cool. Stockholm, very cool. At least in the early days. Been a little while that I've gone now, but Stockholm was awesome. That's probably in my top 3 then. In America, I mean, I casted in Vegas, so technically Vegas counts. Vegas always number 1. Besides Vegas, I would say like San Antonio, Austin. I like Brazil as well. I mean, I like most places, guys. You put me in an area with fun people, a good crowd, people that have similar interests than me, and you make sure there are not too many technical difficulties, and I'm a happy chappy. If I have to pick one for both, I'd say Europe is... it's hard, actually. I don't know, man. But always Vegas number 1. Double Marauder, 2 Stalkers, and a shield battery. I mean, no matter how good your micro is here, I kind of feel like Chess is trying to pull the Roddy here. Hey, he might get 1 Stalker. Battery is good enough. Do we have battery overcharge? We don't need it for now. This is risky, man. I don't know if it's necessary for Chess to play like this. I mean, maybe this is like some sort of a special build. How the special build of PsiOniC in Game 1, this kind of works if the Terran player doesn't get a bunker. These kind of builds, yeah, they're awesome if the Protoss doesn't have a battery. But if they do have a battery, I feel like you make your life so hard. He did have concussive, yeah. Well, Chess, you might want to scout this, mate. We have a tank, though. I mean, he might be fine, actually. So what is this? What are they doing? To quote Tasteless, guys, if 2 players are attacking each other, one of them is wrong. Who is the one who's wrong here? Is it PsiOniC? Is it Chess? Does Chess have PsiOniC exactly where he wants him? Does PsiOniC have Chess exactly where he wants him? Your guess is as good as mine. I totally forgot Ian Blue, believe it or not, after all the banter. Happy delayed birthday, Ian Blue. I hope you had an amazing 9th of May, mate. I know that the morning was sad, but I hope the rest of your day was awesome. So PsiOniC is going to shade the 3 adepts in, and these 3 adepts are at least going to pull some units out of position. This tank is exposed, but can the Stalkers really go for that? I don't think so, right? I do love the quick Robo-Bay here, by the way. PsiOniC needs something that's big, that's powerful. Otherwise, he's going to get A-moved. Pretty good start here by PsiOniC, and I also like that he's not doing anything too weird with these Stalkers. What he could do is maybe pick up 4 Stalkers in the War Prism and then try to one-shot some SCVs. But he's got to be so careful. Yeah, yesterday was the 9th of May, and that's the day that Eon Blue is born. The 9th of May, I'm going to say 1990. Am I onto something? No. Yeah, 96, that's what I meant. You're 28, really? I didn't think you were a day over 34, but I did think you were 34. This is just what happens, guys. When you're very old yourself, you just automatically assume that other people in your surrounding are also old. I hope you had an awesome day, Ian Blue. Even if the morning was a little sad. I had a pretty fun day besides, obviously, the Starcraft 2 results. Talk to you guys about it soon. We have a sentry here. Yeah, the PsiOniC needs to be very careful, by the way, because this Terran army is a whole lot more powerful than his army. Do the Adepts see that? The Adepts don't see a lot. they may have seen that. So recall, there is a recall available in the main. He's actually moving his army back, so he's gonna get away with this. No combat shield yet. Chess doesn't have to worry about a bunch of stalkers with blink, but he does still have to worry about a few batteries and colossus and basic gateway units. The army is here, Chess. I think you gotta evacuate this drop, my friend. You really gotta evacuate this drop. Everything will make it out safely. He still hasn't seen that gateway, by the way. He's not very good in finding proxies, eh? I do think PsiOniC is a tiny bit confused about this game. I think Chess is confused. Look at this. They are just both running to the center of the map. This is a strange series. It's fun, but it's strange. That gate is still there. That war prism is still here. Yeah, if all these tanks, Widow Mines, and Liberators siege up, PsiOniC has a very clumsy army at the moment. The only thing that he really has that he can micro with a little bit is Zealots with charge. Thank you, Patches. Apparently you make awesome maps. But oh my goodness, he goes down that ramp. Yep, he goes down that ramp. Everything. That was not it. That's a very tight, narrow ramp, guys. And there are 3 tanks there. Those shots just splashed all over the Protoss army. And the man who was down 0-2. 1 game 3 is looking fantastic in game 4. A bit of an odd opening. Is now accidentally going to find this pilot in the gate. He will see this warp in spot. We'll see a warp prism in the main, so he does still need to be careful. Maybe he can just focus on the defense. Hello? He's working on the rocks. An odd game. PsiOniC with a mega supply block, by the way. 110 out of 110. 4 pylons on the way. That will allow him to warp in Zealots on the low ground and high ground at the same time. He will leave some bio units behind Mr. Chess. Not many. Chess is gonna siege the lips up. PsiOniC, his army still kinda sucks though, guys. The Stalkers don't have blink. They just don't really have a whole lot going for themselves. The Colossus don't have any upgrades. And look at the power of these bio units. Marines and Marauders. Maybe fighting a Colossus in range of battery overcharge away from your circles is not totally the play. But it does seem that for the second time tonight, we are going to game 5. And that does spark a lot of joy. I know you guys thought I lost it. You know, you guys saying, Roddy, he's old, he's out of touch with the scene, he doesn't really know what he's talking about anymore. But look at me. Back to back, a game 5. Woo! You gotta love it. That's what the Big Brain Bouts is all about. First 2 games, it was all PsiOniC. Game 3 and 4, I wouldn't say all chess, but mostly chess. Very low HP Liberator gets 1 or 2 final shots off. It does feel that if PsiOniC doesn't do a crazy amount of damage with Blink Stalkers and doesn't get himself very far ahead, that Chess is actually slightly better in the late game. Well, I think PsiOniC is very good in getting himself ahead, and that's his skill as well. The first 5 minutes of a game of StarCraft 2 are often the most important 5 minutes. Games are very often won or lost there. Seems that Chess accidentally put 6 SCVs on this gas and 0 on this, but who really cares? Tiny details. The only thing that really matters is 3 base against 2, and it's the army supply lead. Hello, Diablos. I mean, both of these guys have been around for a long time. I think Chess has actually been around for a very long time too. Triple Colossus for our French Protoss, but there is really nothing to buffer for them. So the first one gets picked off. They don't have any upgrades either. Nexus gets cancelled. Second Colossus is already 1 shot away from dying. And look at Chess. He is making Fantasy proud as the Terran Doom drops all over the Protoss army. Woo! I mean, unnecessary roughness. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down for PsiOniC, but that first down will happen in game 5. Yeah, I know, Yamblu. This was just a very strange game. Like, but yeah, awesome. Mixer says, hi, what's our veto order? Replicant first. Then you veto 2 maps. And then Replicant 1. I always love it when players ask me because I just make stuff up on the fly. But it sounds really official, you know. If somebody asks me like, hey, Roddy, what do we do? And I just have an answer for them immediately, they're like, all right, thank you. They never second guess. I just always roll with something, whatever feels right to me. I'm just like, alright, you know, ZVT. I was like, you know what? Replicant vetoes first, you veto 2 maps, Mixu, Replicant vetoes the last. Sounds great to me. That's certainly why we look for in the leader, yeah. As long as you ooze confidence, it works out. You know, the players feel at home, they feel comfy, they feel appreciated. They know what's up. No time to waste. Who won Bonan Ashbringer? Bonan won again, mate. Bonan is farming the Big Brain Bouts. I believe he's 3-0. Might even be 4-0 or 3-1, but can I veto a map too? Fusers ask me if I will host a Dutch dinner next Friday. Is that the Friday that you think you're gonna be here? Well, Friday night I always work, Fuser. But yeah, we'll make something happen, mate. Hey, Bonan, what's your historic record right now in BBB? Are you 3-0? Did I remember that correctly? That's sick. That's actually sick. Final round. I'll introduce the players quickly, Jared, and then I'll answer your question, matey.
Final round. Fight!
Top right side of Dynasty. We are looking at the main base of the Austrian Terran. Some of you had doubts if this was even a competitive series, if I fooled y'all. No. I know what I'm doing. I know this kid is good. Representing Storm Gaming, hailing from Austria, it is Chess. Close to a 6,000 MMR Terran if he's truly on his A game. But no one is always on his A game. Bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of a man who loves his gateway units the way that Adelscott loved those gateway units in 2010. This is PsiOniC, French Protoss, one of the many great French Protosses. So Jared is asking me if I miss living in LA, and the answer is no, not really. I am incredibly happy that I did that. I'm happy that I got to spend 5 or 6 years of prime Roddy in LA. I mean, I don't need to say anything, right? Imagine prime Roddy, European accent, 6-pack, beaches, California, gold. You know, it was good. It was good, but I don't miss it. I'm very happy in my tiny village here in the Netherlands. Zuidland is awesome. I love seeing my brother's son grow up. I love spending time with the puppies. I love just having a place that I can call home rather than renting ghetto apartments and hoping everything works or having to share a place with people that I don't really like. I do love my Starcraft friends, but the last place that I lived in, I shared a place with a dude that I didn't have much in common with. So no, I don't miss any of that. I don't miss the noise. I don't miss the traffic. I don't miss the cost of living. But I'm very happy with the experience. America was awesome. I will always cherish it, but I don't miss it. Food option in LA is freaking amazing. It is for sure, but there are so many great places to eat everywhere. RotterdaM actually has a ridiculous amount of good restaurants too. Yeah. Food in the end of the day is just food. I'm also not that picky, guys. Like I love going to nice, cool, unique places, but I love a Subway or a spicy McChicken just as much. For me, there aren't really tiers to level of greatness of food. Like I love it, or it's not that great. But I can say that I love that fancy steak or that great ramen place or that great Korean place. 3 tiers above, I love the spicy McChicken. Like, no, spicy McChicken is God tier. I'm a simple man. Would you say you have a favorite food? Honestly, I think it's French fries with mayonnaise and onions. You can always wake me up for that. I do love Buffalo Wild Wings, for sure. Buffalo is great. Anyway, let's talk about Game 5, guys. The winner of this series gets 80 buckies. The loser gets 20. That is obviously brought to you guys by Basilisk. If you guys ever want to learn more or ask stuff about Basilisk, what you guys can do is ! Basilisk Discord. That's where you guys can talk with all the people that are in charge. And no, I am absolutely not in charge. Some people seem to think that I run Basilisk. I've had people come up to me at an offline event. They're like, so, like, how did you get Zero on your team? And I'm like, it's not quite my team. Like, wait, you're not the owner of Basilisk? I'm like, no. No, that's not exactly what I do now. Anyway. Chess has opened up very defensively. He did scout the pocket expand. He scouted the natural. He should be aware that there is a realistic possibility that PsiOniC took this base. But he also could have potentially been just a tiny bit worried about one base aggression. PsiOniC is now treating this map like it's equilibrium. And if he gets away with this, if Chess cannot kill him early, or cannot find some damage, a Protoss player, guys, with the gold and the mega gas this early. Whew. The very rich Vespian geyser, as our good friend Benjamin Baker would call it. This is going to be a hard one for Chess. I don't think he has played a whole lot of TVP on Dynasty. I don't think he's been in this scenario very often. 3 adapts already being annoying. Finding the double kill, raise the depot. He doesn't want to raise it, really? I mean, it's only 2 now. I hope for Chess that he can find some damage on the other side of the map. The medevac flies over the Nexus in the natural. There is nothing there. What do we have in the main, Mr. PsiOniC? Oh, are they stuck? Oh, change it. Move it. Move, no. Ah, missed opportunity. This Widowmine actually could have gone for a different probe. And then that would have been incredibly scary for PsiOniC. Now he kind of gets away with murder. Only losing 4 is not bad, especially not if he gets the medevac too. And he is going to get the medevac. Oh. Our boy Chess is in trouble, guys. Our boy Chess is in trouble. It may only be a 6 worker lead at the moment. But a Protoss with this base is richer than God. You can go double fort, you can spam attack, spam armor, still drop a robo bay, be reckless with gateway units. It's gonna take a heroic effort from the man who is hailing from Austria to bring this one to a successful ending. PsiOniC already blinks 1 stalker into the main. Chess knows about it. Tank fires. Seems that PsiOniC just really wants to go for that attack lap. And he's gonna get a cancel on Stim. Marine count is pretty high. Goes for the tank too. There's only 1 tank remaining. Can the Marines push the stalkers to the low ground? There was an observer here. There is still an observer. He's gonna have to kill this. Chess matey, you're gonna have to kill this, mate. It's very important. If you do not kill the ups, the stalkers will just keep on coming around and cause more and more pain. They make it deep into the main base. Tank pops in such an annoying spot. Cannot kill it. Could have maybe killed it. Doesn't want to kill it. We're even building the accidental Reaper. He really needs to kill the observer. Once the Protoss has permanent vision of the Terran main and natural, and they know where the units are, it's so easy to move these stalkers around and find the kind of damage that you're looking for. Seems that PsiOniC was worried Chess was going to throw it on his skin, so he moved the ups now. What do we do here? Our accidental Reaper just came out. And Chess is like, I built a Reaper. Oh my god, there's so much Protoss. What would happen if Protoss would always play out like Zerg? Well, you give them the hands on a mega base early on as their first expand, and we'll see the swarm of aliens. War Prism in the pocket expand. Zealots and Stalkers are gonna storm down the natural. He could drop a force field. I don't know if PsiOniC wants to drop a force field. It wouldn't be a bad move. There are so many SCVs on the low ground. And the French Protoss will go for the force field. The Reaper is fighting on the other side of the map, but that's obviously not important. Does need to be a tiny bit careful. I'm surprised he didn't use the War Prism, by the way. Maybe he panicked. Like, oh no, there's a Reaper attacking my shield battery. I better warp in some units at home. So, it was a fun series, and it's not totally over yet. But it does seem like this series is going out like a candle in the wind. Yes. I just don't really see any Terran turning this kind of a game around. You're a cornered animal. Oh no, F's in the chat for my boy Chess. Things are going from bad to worse.
Oh my gosh. This is going from worse to worse.
We're a 2-base Terran against a 4-base Protoss. One of those bases is a mega base, and we load up 16 Marines, and those get picked off as well in the middle of nowhere. And I'm afraid that is going to do it. We might get one absolute Hail Mary desperation SCV pool, but felt that Chess just misread the situation a little, right? He scouted this late. Maybe he thought he was going up against some sort of a 1-base all-in. That's not what it was. It was the Protoss taking the mega base. Wrong side of the minerals. The right side of the very rich Vespian geyser. And That will do it. I mean, this is a lot of tanks. But unlike the other games, PsiOniC this time around is going to have good upgrades too. These Zealots have been patiently waiting for their moment to strike as they show up in the main base too. Will Chess even turn around to battle them? Apparently the answer to the question is yes. At least for a couple of them. There is a Dark Shrine on the way. The tanks are very exposed. Somehow there are no Zealots here. Stalkers are leading the charge. Kind of messy fight so far by PsiOniC, but I think you can get away with it, guys. Macro is just as important as micro in Starcraft 2. And once in a blue moon, you win games on macro. Chess knows it, even though he's got an army. There's no way he can ever run to the other side of the map and take the kind of fight that he is looking for against the 5 base French Protoss. GG's to PsiOniC. As the Frenchman walks away with 80 buckies tonight, he gets the W on his debut in the BBB. And unfortunately for the man from Austria, it was not meant to be tonight. He gets 20 buckies. I hope he had fun. No, I did not Rosemel. It's like, there is nothing I can say on a moment like that to ease the pain. I always let players digest certain losses in their own time and space. And then once they're willing to talk about it, I'm here. Door is always open. Trigger knows that, but you know, there is no amount of I'm sorry or love or whatever that I can give to someone after such a painful moment. It's best to just let them go over it themselves, and eventually we'll talk about it, right? All right, that is the second best of 5 of the night. The second one that went to distance. So we're on track for an epic night here, guys. Our third series of the night. It may seem like this is a bit of a weird one, but I think this has absolute banger potential. It's going to be a TVZ. Everybody loves TVZ, right? And it will be between Mixu, the second best player from Finland, and a Replicant, the best player from Kazakhstan. We've only had Replicant once in the BBB, and he was amazing. He played one hell of a series. It was super fun. Mixer has obviously played quite a few times. I actually think this is a low-key banger. This is a banger for the diehard StarCraft 2 fans who know these two players. We don't get to see a whole lot of Replicant, but I promise you guys that he's good, and I think he's going to make this an awesome series. Kazakhstani T. Mixer finish Z. $100 for the winner, 25 buckies for the loser. That is what is up next here on the Friday night at the Roddy stream, brought to you by BASILISK. Replicant is playing from Kazakhstan, but he gets around like 70 ping to Europe, so that's not too bad. He does use a VPN. GG PsiOniC, congrats on the win, mate. Shout out to BASILISK for once more giving me 10 subbies. BASILISK has given me an absolute ludicrous amount of subs over the years. I am a very lucky man, guys. I'm a very lucky man. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple minutes for myself. We'll take a few sippies of Monster, and after that, we'll be back. TVZ. I think the next one is going to be awesome. I hope you guys will love it. I hope it's going to go to distance. I'll see you guys soon.